Are we in a housing bubble? I get this question time and time again from my clients. Let's dig into it now. Hi, I'm Luisa Cruz. I'm with Prosperity Real Estate of Keller Williams, New Jersey, here in Princeton, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit more about the idea that we're in this housing bubble. One of the biggest fears that I think my clients have is that they feel like if they pay a certain amount of money for a house right now, they're not going to get that money back later on if they decide to sell. It's almost as if they think that we're in the same circumstances as we were back in 2008, which we're not. Let's understand what a housing bubble is. A housing bubble is a temporary event that can take several years. Usually, it's prompted by an outside force like manipulated demand, speculation, and unusually high levels of investment, access to liquidity, deregulated real estate financing market, or extreme forms of mortgage-related products. I was a real estate agent when the crash happened, and I can tell you that there's different things happening right now that I saw back then. One of the key things is that everyone was able to get a mortgage, whether you had a job, whether you could prove you had a job, whether you could just say that you're self-employed. What that created was false demand. So everybody was now able to buy a property, which is why they had the bidding wars. But these people couldn't afford those mortgages. So these people were given these $600,000, $500,000 mortgages that they couldn't actually afford. They were only making enough for maybe a $100,000 home. But because they were just giving mortgages left and right, these people were being approved for these types of mortgages, which is how the manipulated demand came into place. Now, people that weren't regularly able to buy a house, they were giving these loans, and that's why so many defaulted. Now, I understand that people lose their jobs. There was a lot of things that happened during the crash, but think about this. People need to live somewhere. Whether they buy or if they rent, they still have a rent or mortgage to pay. If it's a rent that is affordable, would you pay for it? Most of the time, yes. So if the people that were approved for these higher loans could actually afford them, we wouldn't have had such a big surge of defaults. What is happening now in New Jersey is that we're always in high demand because of our proximity to two major cities, New York and Philadelphia. Because of that, we do see that this area is always getting demand. So that's not a falsified demand. That is an actual demand. People actually need to live here. It's cheaper than New York City, probably cheaper in some parts of Philadelphia, and the school districts are good. So that's why we have an actual demand problem and not a falsified demand problem. The other thing is that the regulations and the mortgages are really strict right now. So not everybody is being able to get a mortgage. So the people that are actually getting the mortgage can actually afford them, which is why we see so much less defaults. Home prices are increasing because there's no homes on the market. And let's dig into that a little bit more. What is it that there's no homes on the market? What is happening? Did we run out of houses? Because we had such a big break on interest rates a few years ago, a lot of people that are living in homes right now refinance to a 2.5, 3% interest rate. For those people to sell their home, even if they need a bigger home, and essentially double their interest rates and double their payments, that's a tough pill to swallow. So only people that need to move are actually putting their house on the market, or people that it doesn't matter either way. If they're getting a lot of money from their home and they're going to move somewhere that's naturally cheaper, then they're going to do that anyway. So what happens is that we have people that are in need of homes and there is no homes, which creates a demand issue, which increases the price of homes. Because this is not a falsified demand like we talked about before, the prices that is increasing, they are legitimate. And unless some regulation goes through where the financing cost is reduced, like the interest rates are reduced, I don't think that that's going to change. And even if they reduce it, I don't think that they'll ever reduce it as low as we were before. So I don't think that you're in danger of going in today and purchasing a home, even if it's more than what you wanted to spend. Your home is actually valued that, and it's probably going to continue to increase in value if you're buying in the central New Jersey area.